I was in a Discord group. I'm going to split this into two videos, by the way. One of them is about actual work, and the other one is about just a quick update to how to get work done, really, for me. And the reason I'm making this is because somebody in a Discord group said something along the lines of, I'm having a burnout, I think, and I can do whatever, I can make whatever I want. I'm a great developer, but also I have no ideas, and is this good or bad? And it keeps reminding me of something I'm trapped in, but also of a place I used to be in. I used to say the same things. It's that I can hear from how people speak that they aren't very clear in what their problem is, but also in what their goal is and what they really want. And I always come back to a bit of self-help I used to follow, which I always ignore too, by the way. I'm not saying there's anything surprising there. It's that you never ask what you actually want, and you never actually do the work to set the goals to get there. Now, for me, it's also questionable when people come up to me and they say, I can do whatever I want, but it's like if you really could do whatever you want and you had an idea, you would just be working on it. And if you didn't want to do anything at all, why are you so exhausted with it? Now, could be part of an ego thing. I don't know. I think it's ego related. I think it's to want to prove that you can do things. But this is just an interpretation of the events. Anyway, my point of the story is if you can't even formulate the question what you want to achieve, or that question is so far beyond what you can reasonably do in a reasonable time span, you're holding yourself to a goal that you can never achieve. And so you get into this cycle that I used to be in, and I've been in this cycle for years. It's depressing, where you start a project, you don't really quite get what you want, you quit the project, or you change to a new project where you repeat the same pattern over and over, expecting different results. Now, is it wrong to want to do something new? Not really. I have interests all over the place. And the point of this is that you should be monitoring yourself, though. You should be treating yourself more like your own child. You should be honest to your child, to yourself about the behavior you're seeing, and you have to really practice this. I know it sounds stupid. You have to practice mindfulness. You have to start to recognize your own feelings and motivations. And this is much more complex than the topic of this video, but I'm going to give you just two simple examples as to how to get yourself to become accountable. Because what I've heard from people is they keep running into an issue where they can't do something, and it's too complex, and it's like, I'm like, did you try to write it down? They're like, I didn't try to write it down. I'm like, try writing it down. Because me personally, I don't see myself as a very smart guy. And matter of fact, I see this when I'm trying to solve problems that my friends used to solve immediately. Very highly intelligent people. They were able to take hundreds of different concepts in their head and work them out without needing a piece of paper. Now, I'm just not like that. And the thing is, I don't make a judgment of that. For me, that just means I have to take the approach to my work differently. Concrete example is last week I needed to fix an issue with the windowing. And here's what I used to do. I tried a solution, it didn't work. I didn't write down that I tried that solution, so then I tried another solution. I forgot that I tried the previous one, and so I was in a cycle for 4 days without getting myself out of it by writing down systematically what I tried and what I did not try. And that gives yourself the space to lie to yourself about, well, maybe I didn't try it hard enough. Maybe I'm wrong about what I remembered. And when I wrote down the issue, I immediately saw that the problem I was trying to solve was not possible to solve. It was literally not possible because it had to do with the fact that I wanted to have control over what the operating system was doing, which you can't do. You don't have control over how the operating system is laid out. Or at least that's how I understand it. And with that in mind, I just kind of solidified this idea. Well, but what is my concrete goal then? Well, my goal is to render a window, to render things in there, and when the window moves, it keeps rendering, and that's it. And I could do all of that fine, single-threadedly. There's no performance issue because I'm not rendering a full game right now, so I could just leave it at that. But the thing is, clear goals, very important, and it's very easy to get stuck in it. So if you catch yourself frantically chasing something and it is draining you, just write it down. See if it's really that important. And then, secondly, the issue that I had is okay. So a good example now is I lose track of what I was trying to say, and it makes me really upset because I'm trying to achieve all these goals in the same video, cover all these topics that I'm discovering as I'm talking, and then I get upset that I'm not covering them or that I forgot them. So write things down. And when you're doing that, find out what works best for you. I don't mean write it down. Find something that supports you in your mental process. Now, another one of them is drawing things out. I've decided for no reason at all to do Figma design. I made this beautiful design here. We're going to cover what this is supposed to be in another video, but I made this beautiful design completely stolen from this one. And don't listen to people when they say they don't get divinely inspired by other people. Everybody does. It's not something you have to compete over. Made a beautiful design. So now I have concrete things I can start to ask myself. What I want to draw, how I want it to look, where I want it to be. And yes, it's a very slow process if you're somebody who wants results now. But the thing is these things are going to start stacking really soon. Once I have all these things laid out, I can easily add more complexity with no issue. It's always slow to start projects, and if you're a programmer, you know this. The more you write, the slower the next feature is, because you need to be more careful with your approach. So always be careful. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. This is not something you want to achieve today. You should be okay with that. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about regulating your emotions during this. It's a completely separate topic, but let me tell you one simple thing. Do your work even when you don't want to do it, and you'll discover that this whole facade about wanting to feel good by doing something is just made up by people. It literally does not matter if you feel good doing something or you feel bad doing something. You can always do it. And there's going to be more time where you feel less accomplished because things just become more complex and the rewards becomes much harder to receive. And this is completely normal. You're not weird for not enjoying something. Most people should not be doing something for the enjoyment of it, but just for the pursuit of something. It's a very difficult topic because people often attach their work to how it makes them feel. And this is a very bad approach. Now, let me tell you the next step, which is very adequate for me getting angry for not covering every topic. It's the following, and has to do with all of this. Now that I have this Figma design, I can ask some questions by looking at my current work, right? And I just mean the work itself, not even so much the... I can look at the work itself, not even as to how I'm doing the work, which is what we just covered. We need the ability to draw this icon because I'm not doing that. I need the ability to draw these UI elements. And with any business, you really need to start writing down things you need from this image you have that is feasible. What I do, desired completion date. Why? Not because you need to pressure yourself to complete something now. No, I need this because I am somebody who can spend a whole lot of time doing absolutely nothing, and I want to keep the movement, and that's my goal. That's a sub-goal, has nothing to do with my actual application. The feature, render a sprite sheet, render a bitmap font, element composition. These two are very straightforward. I want to be able to render an icon for window controls, and I want to support the low overhead bitmap font ring as alternative to MSDF text. Now, why do I write the reason? Because once you start writing out the reasons you do things, you're going to start to evaluate your actual motive for doing something. Is it actually necessary to do it this way? And then you have to, I know I'm not allowed to assert this, but you have to take my advice. Do the simplest thing imaginable to achieve somewhere. Don't overcomplicate things. Make a prototype first, make it better later. It will save you a lot of headache. And then also, this feature here, element compositions, very complex topic, element composition and programming. What is the reason? The reason is actually very straightforward. I have this text I need to render, and I want to move it left to right, but I render each glyph separately, but they have to form a group, just the way that this has to formulate a group, this text and this bubble. So that's why. So it is absolutely necessary for what I'm doing. I have to move text around the screen. All right. So, this feature thing here, by the way, is not features you want to have at some point, right? So it has to come from somewhere. You need to have. I have a Figma design, and I describe the necessary needs to get there. But things that I want to do in my application, hypothetical ideas in the future, absolutely write them down. These things are going to be useful once you start running into an idea wall where you're no longer getting inspired by stuff. So you can just take it from that list you have and start working on it. Okay, so this is what I've been doing. I'm all over the place in this video, but these are the two basic steps I've been doing the last week. I've been holding myself accountable to it to improve my workflow. It's just to accept whether it's my limitation or human limitation and to find ways to deal with it. And that's what you should be doing as a programmer, which is just problem solving. And you need to do this for everything. And this comes to the conclusion, why? Why listen to this entire rant and follow these two basic things? It's very simple, guys. You have limited energy. And you know this. If you wake up and then it's 12 o'clock, if you wake up at 9, once it's 12 o'clock, you already start to feel tired. And this is only going to get worse, especially as you get older and the less you reward yourself with achieving these actual goals. At some point, you're going to make it almost emotionally impossible to achieve things. And knowing this, you can take away your emotional response to it and realize that, okay, time and especially my energy is very limited. I sleep 8 hours a day. Maybe I'm even working 8 other hours. So whatever you have left needs to be done as efficiently as possible for yourself, but also to achieve your goals. And you need to constantly take time of your day to find ways to do the things you're doing better. This is the only road to success. Now, I'm not a major success, but if you listen across the stories, it is to evaluate yourself honestly, to understand your own motivations, to disconnect them from your own ego, your own feelings, and to move forward.